Welcome to KD Custom Woodworking, Custom Concrete. I'm Kevin Dunphy. New year, new projects, new things to do. Now, what I'm here today, I'm here for the pin nailer, the DEWALT brushless, the model, atomic pin nailer. Well, I can't even find the model number on this. DCN623. That's not really as important, the model number, because I think they only make one of these. They might have had one series before this. What's fantastic about a pin nailer, I can't describe it for my work. It's one of the most important tools that you can have. It's a totally different animal from, let's say, a brad nail. You know, most people that have tuned into this are familiar with brad nails. You can see it's so much thinner. It's a thinner metal, 23 gauge versus 18 gauge, which the higher the numbers you go, the thinner the metal. I know it goes backwards on metal. Now, you could just see the difference there. Why it's so important is a lot of times in finer cabinetry and things like that, you got delicate areas where, you know, you're trying to hold things. Sometimes you're trying to glue it and hold it. And in this case, if you look behind, right here on all these doors here, I got, if you saw in our videos, there's solid wood edging right here. And I'm using the pin nailers to hold them until I get them clamped. And you could almost see, like, I mean, this is like 40 doors. Right here, you won't see any little heads, like maybe what you're used to. They're really invisible. A lot of times I'll put it in. It's that easy. Now, I hit the bottom here, I have a laminate, and it just turned so nicely. It was thin enough. Now the big thing, and show in a minute, what's great about this, I'm kind of fumbling. It's kind of like the new year, you know, it's, oh man, we got snow here, it's cold, I got to do other stuff, and then you're kind of like, ooh. So if I'm fumbling with the review, I apologize. And like I said, I'm enjoying some of your comments. Please write some comments about this. Right here, okay, here's the wheel. I didn't take out the battery. And you can go up and down, which I really like. You know, like right here, I like to go the deepest. I'm using birch, and it seems to work really good. I shouldn't put that in first. Now, what I'm going to show in one sec is these are some of the sizes that I use, like 3/4, 1 inch, and then I have the 1.5 inch, which are really nice. I couldn't use the 1.5 inch on the air, which was too bad. I mean, I bought a pack of these a long time ago. I never did use them, so I guess I'll be using them now. The big thing with the air and like a Harbor Freight one, the Harbor Freight one, throw it in the garbage. It's pure junk. The pins don't go in properly sometimes. You ever try to bury a pin nailer that doesn't go in properly, you'll never want one of these. So throw that in the garbage. This one I've always used for years. I've had a few of these. Had about, I don't know, 4 or 5, I think. These have lasted. You can see it's full of glue. The kid stop, I put electrical tape in there. I didn't really want that, and I'll do the same with this one on the DEWALT. It's worked great. The only drawback is if you get jammed up, you got to take all this off, which if you're on an install is a real pain in the ass. So what I'm loving with a lot of DEWALT tools, you see a trend with me going here. There's no cords. You can see here, like this kind of broke down a bit, and you see the cable there. And sometimes I'm like, do I throw more money in the shop on air, like to get a new coil air? That's like, I don't know, $100, $200, depending what you buy, to run a lot of these tools. Or you go battery. And I'm starting to realize batteries are the way to go. There's nothing being on the job site and not having the air hose. If you've done a whole house in moldings, you know what I mean? Like, usually you have maybe 20, 40 feet. And yes, you can get the thinner lines, maybe not as bad. But still, you're taking that compressor, moving it around, getting all comfortable. This thing I take with me, it has a clip here. I don't like those little clips that come with it. I'm not a fan. The other tools have better ones. They have a left and a right. So you can really take that. The big thing, what I love about the DEWALT, and think about the tools. One, I talked about how long they last in my other videos. That's why I'm buying them. And why it's fantastic. I'm not here to badmouth the Milwaukee. Milwaukee's always were a little more expensive. I remember when I first started out, I couldn't afford Milwaukee. And I loved them, but I couldn't afford it. So it was a love affair because of how cool they were, and they seemed notch above anything else. But those times have changed, as they say. And DEWALT has 20 volts. The Milwaukee one has 12 volts. And why is that important? Well, you got fuel cells, or they call them batteries, or Clueless, or I don't know. Like I was trying to look at their batteries beforehand. It was really hard to figure out. Then they got this jumbo battery, M18. And if I'm making fun of them or making light of it, what it does for me, or you're trying to get a lot of tools, the tools are expensive, is it costs, I don't want to go buy 12 volt batteries. I want to just get one set of batteries for all my tools, whether I get flex volt tools, which I have a few now, and I manage to squeeze up some of these batteries, or just the regular ones. This is one that comes with it. I'd stay away from the 2 amps. They charge an extra $100 for the 2 amp batteries. This is not worth it. You need a minimum, I like to get 5 amps, after using, when you go with the bigger batteries, you start going to these, you realize how little they last. Now, the big thing that's cool too, is I can take the flex volt and run it, no problem whatsoever. Like, it's a little heavier, like I won't lie, like going over the head is, gonna be hard all day, but I have used it for the saws. These do give continuous power when you cut. Like, there's a big difference. Sometimes when you got the other batteries and you're down to 2 bars, or you're getting low, like you can feel the cutting, it kind of forces. But with these things, it's been really pretty dramatic. So, did it go a little deeper? I don't know. Like, I need a microscope to figure this one out, That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna give, what else can I say about this? I'll show over here. Now, we did all these panels, and you can imagine how many pins, because I glue and I put a couple of pins to hold it down, because if I just glued, it could twist up, and I can't put enough there, then clamp it, so that way you're guaranteed not to move. And so you can get an idea how many pins are in this thing. I have no idea. I know that there's several rows. I lose count after a while. Usually something like this will take a few days. This is the backsplash that's going for our new kitchen. Originally I titled it, the renovation, it was House from Hell. It's the worst reno you could do. Hands down. If you can do a reno like this, you can do anything. So we're showing our journey. We're well over a year into it. And what I'm showing is that there's a video on that. The tools, I'm trying to get you, if you're doing bigger renovations, you're going to do your kitchen, wall units, things like that, buy the good tools. They'll pay for themselves. If you're not hiring anybody, it will make a huge, huge difference. You know, there is a saying, you do get what you pay for. And with Milwaukee and DeWalt, they're being very competitive. Batteries have dropped down a lot in price the last year. Certain tools have, there's like certain tools out there, I mean, they're dirt cheap. This is a little overpriced compared to the 16 gauger, which, you know, I don't know if it's because the complexity of a small brad nail. So remember that when you're trying to do it, because I've had that saying, I used to call it stupid cheap, and I'm guilty of it. Lord knows I'm guilty of it. And so remember that. Get the good stuff as much as you can. You don't have to buy it all at once. If you're doing like an R rental, in this case, it's pay as you go. We don't have a crew of 5 guys, 6 guys paying $10,000, $20,000 a week. And then next thing you know, a month later, you're $120,000, $150,000 into your project and you're nowhere near finished. And you feel like, oh, they got me. I'm ransomed. I gotta go through with it. Nobody else wants to walk. I can't fire them. They're too deep into it. And I don't like the speed. I don't know what's going on. Educate yourself, all right? So I'm gonna give a review on this. This bad boy, let's do it. I'm gonna give it a 10. Only because it kills the competition. There's nothing else on the market. I wish I had bought this sooner. All right, please subscribe. I thank all the new subscribers. Love who we're getting. We're getting people that want to build. It is the only way that, you know, you can control your money, create wealth by doing it yourself. You know, unless you're great with stock market and you know how to do that, then that's a different story. But if you're like the rest of us, mere mortals, and you know we want unique stuff, do it yourself. It's the only way. So thank you again. Bye.